Good morning. And isn't it a fabulous morning? And we deserve it, I know, from this past week. My name is Linda Joy Moore, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the Center for Spiritual Living, St. Louis, Missouri. Thank you for being here today because our lovely ministers are enjoying Mexico on the beach for us. And we really appreciate it because they need to relax and renew too. So, welcome too to everyone all over the world that is streaming with us. We really, really appreciate it. Our guest speaker, oh, I want to announce the announcements, Joni, also. But first, I want to give you the vision. Our vision is to inspire, awaken, and transform lives. And our mission, explore and live spiritual truth to awaken divine oneness, to honor the divinity and diversity of all people and all paths to God, strengthen and serve our spiritual community, revealing love through the generosity of our time, talents, and treasures, and to teach personal spiritual practices that enhance spiritual growth in all areas of our life. So right now I'd like to welcome Joni Alsop for announcements.
Good morning, everybody. Everybody here and everybody around the world who's watching, welcome. We've got some great classes coming up for you. Beginning next Saturday, you can experience your angels, guides, and higher self through Theta Healing from 1 to 4 p.m. with Mary Bracken. Some of you've met Mary. She'll help you clear the beliefs that block hearing messages. You learn how to use a dream journal to learn what's possible in your life, get guidance via angel cards, channel meaningful messages, and learn how your angels and guides protect you. And who doesn't need that these days? You can sign up in the bookstore. It's only $59. It should be a wonderful experience. Reverend Larry is coming back with playing in the Matrix Part 2 on Sunday, March 27th. This is a continuation of the intuitive healing work that takes you deeper into the Matrix. Some of you may have joined us for the first workshop last month. It was really wonderful. So you can explore your true spiritual powers in this 3-hour workshop. It starts with a short review of the basics before exploring the deeper exercises, and it's only $50. So more to come on that. Mark your calendar for Sunday, March 27th. More copies of Reverend Larry's new book have arrived. You might know that he's all about intuition, so of course his book is appropriately titled Intuit. You get them while you can. There's just 29 copies in the bookstore for now, so this is the second printing. Get them while they're hot. And further dates in the spring. Reverend Mary Jean is starting a new class on April 6th. That'll be a 7-week class. A new accredited class called Revealing Wholeness. So more information to come on that if you want to mark your calendars for April 6th. And then Reverend Mary Jean's sister, Reverend Luzette, is coming back into town the end of April for an all-gender weekend intensive workshop, Friday evening, April 22nd through Saturday, April 23rd. It's called Call to Greatness, so you might want to mark your calendars for that one too, because we can all get greater than we already are. If you're here for the first time, please raise your hand. I know the ushers have a packet and a gift for you. Any first timers? Ooh, welcome, wonderful. Glad to see you. And just a brief reminder that CSL follows St. Louis County guidelines for masks, and we are still under a mask mandate. There's rumors that it may be going away at the end of the month, but for now, if you can do your part and wear a mask until then, that would be awesome. Thank you.
And right now, I'd like to welcome our own Michelle Conley Brown.
Michelle Connolly Brown, and I am so filled with joy to be here right now and to pray with you and open the service with a prayer. I just want to take a second to tell you that anytime you say a prayer, and I know what I like to do, I like to call in any guides, angels, teachers, my grandma, anybody up there that might help and aid and assist in my prayer and in my ability to connect with the divine. And so I would just ask that all of everyone in earshot and everyone who watches now and later, right now, just call in your people, your highest guides, teachers, angels, if that's Jesus or Michael or St. Anthony or whoever. Maybe you're a big fan of Deepak Chopra. Whatever energy makes you feel good, makes you connect, let's call that in. All the angels, all the teachers, all the highest and most developed souls that can help us with this prayer. There is only one love. There is only one spirit, one consciousness, one light. I know for myself and for everyone present and not present that this service will reach us and bless us and heal us and touch us in all different ways. I know that the light of the divine burns inside each and every one of us, making us each whole, complete, and perfect at every moment, abundant, full of peace, love, and joy. Each one of us can claim those qualities of God and be so grateful that God's life is my life and your life right now. We are a little piece of divinity right now, living in action. God is expressing himself through us. Let us embrace the divine together in gratitude and love. Let us heal one another as we love one another, because that's where the healing takes place, when we love. And I am so thankful. I am so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all the blessings that each one of us is given every single day. Knowing I speak the truth, I release my words into the law and call it done, because we are love, we are peace, we are joy, and we are healed. And so it is.
And right now, it's my pleasure to introduce our fabulous musician, Bob, and Pookie.
Bob and Pookie. I'm Pookie, that's Bob. You believe that? You're not falling for that, are you? That would be something, wouldn't it? Well,
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are excited to be here today, aren't we, Pookie?
Oh my gosh, let me just look at you. Wow.
This is one of the best
So
looking crowds we've
amazing.
seen here lately.
Right?
Yes.
So, like, we're here, people. You know, it's miraculous that we're here right now. Right? The fact that you even walk this beautiful earth is a miracle. It's a miracle. And now is the time for us to rise together in love like never before. Never before. And so I'm so excited that Karen Hoffman is here today. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Wow, she's an amazing, you'll see. I'm not gonna tell you what I see. I'm gonna let you see for yourself. Because she's someone I've been loving for a long time. She's been loving me too. And I don't think she's ever heard this song.
Someone
But
thought
this is
she
a
would.
song Marty wanted you to hear.
This is it.
Yeah, and this speaks to all of us today, as we are one global family, brothers and sisters across this sweet, sacred earth. That's who we are. The power is in the people. Don't forget. Now is the time for all nations to rise united in one vision for all of mankind, standing strong as a force field of love and light, bringing hope and light and harmony. We will unite. We come from the same source, a powerful love force. We're coming together, stronger than ever, not divided. We come from the same source, a powerful love force. We're coming together, hear the call, you are invited. You are invited. Oh, reach out your hand to your fellow man. It's time we come together and take a stand. We are strong when we walk the earth hand in hand, bringing hope and light and unity across the land. We come from the same source, a powerful love force. We're coming together, stronger than ever, not divided. We come from the same source, a powerful love force. We're coming together, hear the call, you are invited. Na 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 na, na 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 na. Na 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 na, na 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 na. We are united.
No, not divided.
Yeah, we are united.
We are not divided.
Hey, we are united.
No, not divided.
Oh, yeah, we are united.
We are not divided.
We come from the same source, a powerful love force. We're coming together, stronger than ever, not divided. We come from the same source, a powerful love force. We're coming together, hear the call, you are invited. We come from the same source, a powerful love force. Yeah. And it's true. Whoa. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you, love you. Mwah, thank you.
Well, we have a fabulous band almost. Yeah. It's an opportunity now to welcome Tracy Flo, who's going to introduce our terrific speaker, Karen Hoffman. Tracy.
Thank you, my love. Wow. Thank you, Pookie and Bob. So it is an honor today to introduce Karen Hoffman, and she grew up in Ferguson, Missouri, and with her husband Rick moved to St. Charles in the mid-'70s, where they found their forever home. Her passion has always been to help people, whether it was helping first-time home buyers, helping small businesses, as a magazine publisher and author of 2 books to share information and stories, or as a workshop developer for a program called Joy of Goals, always volunteering along the way. She's received awards from the former RCGA, the Small Business Administration, eWomen Network, and other organizations for helping others. In 2014, Karen started Gateway to Dreams, a nonprofit, and in 2021, Gateway to Dreams launched a new local magazine, Be the Change St. Louis. Now, Mary Jean asked me to say a little something personal, and Karen Hoffman and I go way back. She definitely changed my St. Louis world when I moved here from California for the second time, and truly turning this St. Louis into my home sweet home. I think I'm going to get emotional. And I didn't plan this, but She introduced me. She made introductions. She supported me from day one. When I became, well, she interviewed me for a position as connector director to an organization called ESPW, which stands for Encouraging, Supporting, and Promoting Women, which was the initial organization that gave rise to Gateway to Dreams and brought it into the reality of becoming a reality. And sitting at the table with so many wondrous women who also believed in making St. Louis dreams come true in the heartland of the United States that would ripple out, it was easy to say yes to being her on the board of directors for this woman. And I have been there through all of the growing spurts, all the growing pains, and all the joys. I love this woman for her huge heart and for her compassion and commitment to supporting a community whose vision is greater and greater every single day to be the change we want to see in the world. So join me in welcoming Karen Hoffman, Executive Director and founder of Gateway to Dreams and Be the Change, St. Louis.
Love you. Wow. For anybody else that speaks in front of groups, do you get nervous when people say a lot of nice things about you? I am. When Mary Jean asked me to speak, she said the series is our inner life. And the subtitle, oh, I can take it off? Yeah, you're up there. I got the 4-foot thing going on here, or more. All right, maybe you can hear me. Oh, anyway. So the inner life, and the subtitle was Love, Willingness, and Courage. And I worked on this, and I worked on this, and I don't know about other speakers, but then you work on it some more, so bear with me here. As my faith, I believe in a God, and sometimes I haven't fit in some churches because I don't necessarily follow some of their thinking. I have my relationship with God that started, like I can remember sitting in a First Baptist Church of Ferguson, that's where I was, and the minister or whatever, he was saying, I was 13 or 14, and he said, if you wear perfume or you dance with boys, hi Ricky, if you dance with boys, you can go to hell and burn. And I remember sitting there as a little girl, pre-teeny, well, I guess it was teen, knowing my God is not like that. I just knew it. I knew it inside of me. So I want to share, for some of you in here, you will go, oh, this woman is crazy, and then other ones will go, oh, I get it. Because I'm going to share some of my, they could be coincidences, but I call them my God stories. Things that happened to me along my journey that has created Gateway to Dreams and created Be the Change magazine. So one of my stories is that I am on Highway 270 north by 70, and I have a meltdown, my first meltdown with God, where I yelled at God. I'd had a pregnancy that I was told to terminate, and I made it through that. I had stage 3 ovarian cancer, which I thought you were 1 to 10. I didn't know it was 1 to 4. I was stage 3 and going, yay, 3 out of 10. And he goes, no, 3 out of 4. And I'm going, but it's 3, not 4. So, but I just started yelling at God going, why did you make me this way? Why couldn't I be normal? And normal to me meant you would go get a job and bring a paycheck home. I'm an entrepreneur. I've worked at places where the people don't matter. I can't stay at a place where people don't matter. So I ended up doing my little yelling. If you remember how the curve goes, you then merge. By the time I was merging, I was apologizing to God, saying I was sorry. But that night, this woman named Laura Lloyd, who I had never met, I'd seen her artwork at Picasso's when Picasso's Coffee used to be on Highway K, and she has these whimsical, adorable pieces of art she creates. And she said, I haven't read this book, but I feel like I'm supposed to give it to you. And I'm like, okay, thank you, nice. I don't know her that well. She doesn't know me. It was actually in 2003. Now remember, I had just yelled at God, right? And she gives me a book she's never read. When I started reading it, It's called The Dream Giver by Bruce Wilkinson. And it's all about that God gives everyone a dream. But some of us live in normal, and we're afraid. We're afraid to go for the dream. And there's all these reasons. It can be family that are afraid for us. It can be people that just don't like us. But there's all kinds of ways that when we go for our dream, we can get sucked back into not going for our dream. And when I read this book, I got to the part where they talked about the champion of dreams. And I was like, oh, that kind of sounds like me. Oh, like maybe he didn't mess up with me. Maybe I'm not a mistake. Maybe I'm here for a reason. And it was like a light bulb went off that the fact that I'm entrepreneurial and that I love to encourage people wasn't a mistake. So I tend to have stories that involve books. Anyway, so after that, I still, I did some different workshops and things. One of them was a workshop called The Joy of Goals that Tracy mentioned. And I feel like what I do is if I get these urges from God, I'm going to tell a story on me and Pookie in a minute, but it's more on my end, but I started realizing that when I listen to what's inside of me, that good things could happen. So, oh, by the way, if you haven't ever heard the song Truth Be Told, I cannot remember the name of the guy that sings it, but it's about that many of us don't come to church because we don't feel like we belong, like we feel like we need to be more special or be better. And he says that churches should be more like hospitals because a lot of us can be wounded. So I wanted to share that song. And then Pookie's going to share one of my favorite, Pookie and Bob, the band, will be sharing the other song. So years, that was in 2003, and different things went along for me. But one thing inside of me, I've always loved to help people with their dreams and goals. In the old days, I would have to say the word goals because I was too hard to say the word dreams. That was too fluffy. I was more in the business world then, and we had goals. But then I turned into someone who just embraced the word dream. And one of my girlfriends who's recently passed away, some of you may have known her, Susie Tozier, she had been working to do a bookstore cafe in Chesterfield Mall. And as her girlfriend, I hung with her. She was going to have it right next to Dillard's anyway. And she was diagnosed with cancer. This was 2013 with metastatic cancer. And actually, she just died in January. So from 2013, like she was the light and big smile and everything. But but she's diagnosed. She has a full-time job. She still has 2 girls at school, in school here. And her husband had died of an epileptic seizure years earlier. And we were at Caldi's, and she decides not to go for her dream for that coffee shop. And she acts like she has a box, and she goes, I want to gift that space to you. And my face showed alarm, because I'm not someone who I don't even shop like in malls. So what the heck, don't tell me you want me to take that space. And she knew me, and so she said, at least think about it. And I thought about it. And on, I don't remember what day it was, but it was May 30th. The day before, I was like, you got to call and tell her you're not going to do it. And I woke up, and I felt like I heard God again. Yes, it is Gateway to Dreams. Yes, it is coaches and experts helping people with their dreams. So I went ahead, and I said, okay, and I called her, and I told her I would do it. No money in the bank to do this. Didn't know what the heck. This is a nonprofit I'm going to do. What am I going to do? So Susie and Tracy and Pookie and about 20 other people, we started meeting in that space actually from July of 2013 until October of 2013, working on what could it look like. And so we started Gateway to Dreams there. And the first events that we were holding were what we called Dream Fest and then Dream Tanks. And we would invite people in and have them share their dream, and then we would brainstorm ideas, information, introductions for them. This wasn't about getting people money. This was about collaborating and helping them. So we went ahead and we started that, and we were there for a couple of years, and then the mall asked if I would, now this is when the mall still had people, like people were walking around and going to stores, And they asked me to move to a bigger space because we were pulling primarily women in. We had a few cool guys, but mostly this attracted women. Women helping one another, women believing in one another. And so we went to the space they wanted us to use, and we were in 1,700, and this was 6,400 square feet. And I was like, this is too big. Like, I can only have a little dream, right? Like 17 looked big, you know, in 2013. But one of my friends, Jennifer Dotson, was with me, and she said, Karen, this is perfect. And she and we do start brainstorming, and she goes, look, I promise, I'm not going to leave if you do this. I'll help you. And I'm like, okay, she'll help me. I can do this. Because I can't do anything alone, really. And really, none of you can, whether you know it or not. We need friends. We need tribes. We need people to support us. So we go ahead. We walk through it. She's on board. The rent is actually like I was paying, how was I paying? $150 plus. If you're like a nonprofit, they had special rates. So for 1,700 square feet, we were paying like $300 with utilities and rent, $150 and I think it was $150. And I moved out, when we moved down there, I said, I really can't afford, you know, to go much higher. So they gave me, at that time, $300 and they paid utilities. So to me, that's God. Like, I wouldn't have went out looking for that anybody would do that. Now, through the years, every time it's sold, it went up, and we are no longer, we pay our utilities now, and we pay a lot more in rent. But we had our place. Along the way, I also want to mention this in my talk, is there's stigmas around mental health. And I thought I was a pretty, maybe not normal person, but didn't think I was depressed or crazy or any of that. But in 2019, my husband had a heart attack, and then he had blood clots in his lungs, and then he had a traumatic brain injury where he fell. We didn't know it was a traumatic brain injury, really, because they just said it was a concussion. We didn't know what that meant. And and then there was a suicide from a relative of my daughter's that was close, and then we had a loss of our daughter-in-law, and I had COVID, and I no longer felt like me on the inside. I just didn't. But Gateway brought me to life. However, when COVID hit, and my life had changed in so many ways, there were so many things going on, I didn't know I was depressed. I thought depressed people couldn't get out of bed. That was my definition. If you're depressed, you can't get out of bed. I can get out of bed, and I like what I'm doing. But we were no longer having face-to-face. Everything was by Zoom. And then, some of you in this room, have you ever felt suicidal? I had 2 days, and I can remember the months they were in, but not the days, where I didn't want to die, but I wanted the pain to go away that I was in. I just wanted the pain to go away, not me to leave the planet. Great family, good, you know, there was so many good things. And actually, after I moved through all of that, I shared it with someone I love, and that person kept saying to me, I can't believe you. I can't believe you have so much to, and I was like, oh my God, I trusted myself to tell this person. And I already knew those thoughts are stupid and wrong, but this person that I loved was like, you know, I can't believe you. Well, I couldn't believe it either, because I am usually a pretty happy person. But I'm just saying this because as we go along, and that song I was talking about, we don't know what somebody else is going through. You know, I could be really excited to see you and happy because maybe I can help you and that gets my mind off of my troubles. But we don't know what people are walking through when they're not with us. One of the other things that happened was I was so broken, and the board wouldn't let me have our impact awards. We were supposed to have it in April, and they were worried about me, and 2 board members came to me and they said, you can't have it. And I'm kind of a person that's used to doing kind of what I want when I think it's going to help our nonprofit. And they said, you're more important, and we need you to be okay. And so I said, well, can I work on maybe like a expanded agenda for when we do have our event? Because we were going to have the event, maybe not when I wanted to, but we were going to have it. And I started working on an agenda. And what God put in my life was this, the idea of be the change. And I started working on it as, the program for the event. I used to own magazines. I had made that thing, I'll never publish another magazine in my life. And there it was. It was a program, it wasn't a magazine. And then it was going to be twice a year. And then it was going to be quarterly. But I was kind of fighting with the quarterly. But I had just made the decision to go quarterly, and we were having a board meeting, and Tracy says something about our quarterly magazine, and I'm like, I hadn't told her yet. We were twice a year. But to me, that was my confirmation. This magazine, to me, is all about all of us coming together and showing the love, having people help one another. We have stories in here, and I brought a copy for each of you. They're outside, and they're in plastic like this, so they don't have to get wrinkled on your way out. But that magazine gave me back. And Tracy knew when she would hear me on the phone when I was coming back. You know how everybody has a voice and you can hear what they don't say? My friends could hear what I wasn't saying. They loved me and they helped me. Anyway, so the point that I was making about mental health is having lost people I love, and more than just those. I would just love for our city to recognize the impact mental health has on crime, the impact mental health has on keeping a job, and what can you do, what can I do, what can we do to be the change, because that is one of our issues here. I'd like to share some stories about some of the people who've been through some of our programs. There's a nonprofit called Connections to Success, and they had invited me in to do the workshop that Tracy was talking about earlier. It's called Joy of Goals. And in fact, Pookie has sung at Joy of Goals. But this is where we have 101 dreams and goals just to help people dream, for them to get things out of their head, for them to see more for themselves. And there was this one woman in Kathy's group who had a pencil in her hand and she wasn't writing. Oh, she had a pen, that's right, because she wanted a pencil. She wanted to be able to erase a dream, because if she wrote it down, she had to do it. If she changed her mind, she wanted to be able to erase it. And I watched her and I said, "What's wrong?" And she didn't say anything, and she has a very stoic face. She's very hard to read. And out of my mouth came words that I don't think I would ever say, and it was, "What, you don't think God's big enough for your dream?" Now, I swear, that was not me. I think I'm nicer than that. But it did, I think I am, maybe I'm not. But it made her, later she told me, it was like somebody slapped her across the face. And she went, there's more to the story and it's kind of long, so I'm gonna just, shorten it. But she ended up getting a book, The Prayer of Jabez, at our workshop, because I love to give things away. And then she went to her pastor, and she leads, the choir. And about 2 weeks later, he said, "I have a new song," and it was The Prayer of Jabez. And then she went to, her daughter had sickle cell. What she didn't write down is she wanted to start, she did write it down after I called her out with God's help. But she said she was afraid to start her nonprofit to help sickle cell families. And so she started working on a foundation, and she went to the hospital where her daughter had treatment, and they told her they were waiting for someone like her, and they already had grants for her. Several years later, she has 600 and 900 people come to her walk, and she is supported always by me and our community. And sad parts to this, and this is one of the things about me and maybe those of you in the audience, when somebody else is in emotional pain, I'm kind of like, what do they call it? Empath. Well, empath, and there's another word, but I'm a sponge for energy. And so this woman lost her daughter it's Rosemary Britz. She lost her daughter in October to her disease and a medical error. And then in March, her husband died of COVID. And if you're in my world, like I still hurt. This was 2019 and 2020, but she lost, so much. Anyway, the good news is she feels like the foundation keeps her daughter alive because it was in honor of her daughter that she started it. Another woman that you may or may not know in this room is a woman named Marianne Brickner. And Marianne Brickner, when I met her, was 77 years young, and she came into Gateway to Dreams and had a dream to go to, where? Not Africa, France. In France, different place. Because these bonobo apes she'd been shooting pictures of in Fort Jackson, Florida, Susie had been moved to France. And she was on Social Security, and she just didn't know how she would do it. And years ago, God gave me this quote. It's, when you know your dreams and when you share your dreams, people will help you with your dreams. So she went ahead, and I told her, share it. She goes, well, I couldn't take money from strangers, and, I couldn't do that. Well, a couple of weeks later, she's pulling it in. And she got from, I think it was, like $4 to $400, and she was able to go to France, and she took the pictures of Yuli and Susie, the mom and the baby. And then, since she knew how to share her story, she wanted to go back when Yuli was older, because Yuli was just a little baby, and babies don't have their features. I don't know that about apes, but that's what she says. And she got to go back. And when she went back, the zoo that she had taken the photos for, because they had an arrangement, had her pictures up on billboards. And when she came back, I said, well, how do you feel? She said, even my hair is happy. And there's another story that Gateway to Dreams has been involved in. It includes Miss Tracy Flay here. I call her Flay. Actually, we call her Flo because she flows, but Flay. So there was this woman who called, and I usually didn't answer the phone at our office. I used my phone, and this phone rang, and this woman was on the phone, and she had read an article about us in Millstadt, Illinois, and she had a nonprofit saving racehorses from slaughterhouses. Now, how many of you knew in the room that many racehorses end up in a slaughterhouse? I didn't know this. And so her thing was, how do I save them? And so she had a farm, and you takes a lot of money to feed one freaking horse, Like we had little ponies, and it costs a lot to feed them. And I said, you got to meet Margot. I told Tracy and Margot each, you got to meet each other, separately. And also this woman named Sue Martin. And again, coincidence or God? So Tracy didn't always come to our event, our Dream Fest thing. And I invited Margot. And as I'm standing there speaking, I look over, and this woman walks up, and I said, are you Margot? She goes, yeah. And I go, hi, and kept on. And then right behind her is Tracy. And I'm like, I stopped talking, and I go, you too. And Tracy and some other people, they helped save the farm. They helped save those animals. And I salute you. And she's still to this day helping Margot save horses. So another crazy God moment for me. One of my, we want diversity on our board. And so I don't know how many of you know Marty K. Casey. I call her the Martin Luther King in a female version. She's amazing. She was on our board, but she was going to be going off. And one of my friends said, who do you know at American Family? Because American Family insures dreams. Like they have their own dream place in Madison, Wisconsin. And I said, I don't know that I know anybody in American Family. So they said, can we look on your LinkedIn page? I said, sure. Well, they found a woman. And when they called me, they said, do you know Dawn Berry? I said, well, I know a white Dawn Berry, and I know a black Dawn Berry. And they said, the black one. I go, yeah, I love her. Well, I love the other one too, but I really knew Dawn better. And I ended up calling Dawn, and we're talking, and I'm asking her about our board position. And she said, I started talking about our magazine, Be the Change. And she said, Karen, I have God bumps. She goes, I just got off of one of our calls with, like the highest of the highs at American Family. And she said, they are telling us we have to be the change. We have to be the change. And I was like, oh my gosh, so she was on the board. She was we both felt like that was a God sign to us. I was told 20 to 25 minutes. I think I'm at 19. Is that right? I'm just looking at the guy over there that controls cutting me off. He can cut me off in mid-sentence here. So I call that one of my God moments is that Tracy came on. And then Dawn came on. Tracy, she said, she's been on since the very beginning. I have no idea how she puts up with this, but she loves it. But one of the things that Dawn talked about being on our board is how do you explain Gateway to Dreams? Well, I've been doing this since 2013, and I really didn't know how, and we would keep coming up with new mission statements. I mean, not like every day, but every couple of years we'd tweak it, and we would think we would get closer to it. And it just didn't set with her. You know, how would she go out and invite people to us? And so on Super Bowl Sunday, is that 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago? 2 weeks, something, whatever, it was close, 1 week. Thank you. She looks official, 1 week ago. Yeah, but they were on a call with me to look again at our mission and our values. And Dawn actually came up with the part of our mission statement, and I'm going to read it to you. It is not approved by the board. Just so you know, I know it's not approved by the board yet. But Gateway to Dreams' mission is to be the change. We inspire action, give voice and clarity to the dreams of individuals, creating a ripple effect that positively impacts the social and economic well-being of our communities. And that's what we do. In fact, I had never put together the pieces. Like you heard me tell the story about Rosemary with all these people to come together for sickle cell, but I never looked at it as Gateway being the ripple to that. I looked at her doing that. But we have impacted thousands through Rosemary's program. And it was like, wow, we do this. We have a ripple effect here. I do want to share one more story, and that's about Pookie. So I told you I hear this voice, and I think it's God. It could be not, but I choose to believe it's God because I don't really like thinking there's an alien voice in my head. But there was this morning back pre-COVID when people came together, and I don't remember what time it was, Pookie, I don't know if you remember, but I'm going in early. Our meeting starts at 8:30, but I go in like at 7:15 or so, and so I'm leaving my house about 6:30, and I hear the voice say, call Pookie and have her sing that song, I Am Responsible, and I'm like, I can't call, it's 6:30. You know, I was raised you don't call somebody till 8, maybe 5 till 8, but you don't call anybody before 8. So I argued with God probably for about 10 minutes. I'm not. Finally, Pookie, I'm sorry. I feel like God is making me do this. Can you sing I Am Responsible today at Gateway to Dreams, or CPW? And she was like, sure. And she didn't come to all the meetings, you know, and I don't know about you, but if you got a call that early and you had to be somewhere in like 30 minutes, you know, but Tracy wouldn't work. For those that know Tracy, would not work. But Pookie was a yes. And since then, we've incorporated that song into one of our programs that we sing it at every meeting. And I have some people that, you know, they feel embarrassed, but we have Pookie's voice, and literally on Zoom, we're singing her song. Most people say that that's one of the things they love about us is that we sing that song. The last thing that I was going to share is anybody that works in corporate America, anybody that cares about, you know, the great resignation. This book, The Dream Manager by Matthew Kelly, is a great story about what happens when people care about their employees' dreams and what we can do. And our program, Joy of Goals, we think can help them. And I don't think I have anything else to say except thank you for allowing me to be here. And hopefully I didn't disappoint after, When we do the Joy of Goals workshop, we give out mustard seeds, and I like to let people hold them and then tape them down because they're really tiny. But last night, I went ahead and taped some for any of you that want to remember that all we need is the faith of a mustard seed. Okay. So. Huh?
Karen, thank you for that deeply personal and moving story. Such a wonderful, You know, it's really nice once in a while to have the guest speakers. We love our revs, but isn't it interesting to hear these different ideas and stories? So we love you, Rebs, but we're doing great. All right. Would my ushers please come up, our prosperity receivers? It is offering time. Anybody in here could use some abundance? How about that? How about anybody know somebody who really needs some abundance? Let's do some abundance work. Let's right now just know that we are abundant in the light of God, in the light of the Spirit. We are abundant and we are able to give. And we can give whatever amount that is, whether that's $1, $1,000, $10. Maybe you can't give money. Maybe you can just give your time. That's welcome too. But right now we're collecting offering, and I just challenge each and every one of you to give as your heart says and be just completely assured that it is coming back to you 10 times fold. We love our givers and we love our receivers, and we bless this offering today, and we bless our givers especially. And may that money reach out and help in every corner of CSL. And so it is.
Okay, let's have a big hand for Karen Hoffman and that awesome talk. Big hand for Karen. Karen, I have a feeling we are going to do that song. We're going to do that in just a moment here, but you probably don't know this, but for a good 3 years now, every Sunday that I perform here, I do a little musical summary of the talk. I never really know exactly what's going to be discussed, but I jot down some lyrics real quick, and I come up here and I summarize it, the key points in my mind, in the form of a doo-wop song. And so this is the first time I've been able to do Karen. So you ready for this? This is for you. I so love CSL, you know what I mean. Today we had Karen Hoffman of Gateway to Dreams. Once Karen yelled at God when things looked blurry, and then she saw the light with God's stories, God's stories, God's stories, God's stories, God's stories, God's stories. Susie encouraged Karen, if you recall, to start a nonprofit in a struggling mall. Karen faced a choice, not knowing what was the best. Thank God she listened to Source and she said yes. 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 One more short verse. Life does have ups and downs. It can be strange. We're lucky Karen is here to be the change, 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 be the. There you go, Karen. You have officially been doo-wopped. So,
Yeah, not everybody gets doo-wopped.
so that's not our official song is now. That was just like a little extra cherry on top. We are celebrating this week, not only Karen being here, I think for the first time
I know,
to
it's so
speak.
amazing.
Guess what? This coming Wednesday, the 23rd, it's Pookie's birthday.
Oh my goodness. Yay! 61, baby. Rocking the planet for 61 years. Loving all the people, man. You should love the age you are. Yeah. Embrace it. Yummy, yummy, yummy. 61. Okay, so a little bit of story behind this song, I Am Responsible. This song is actually presented in that magazine. And because of Karen's vision and her commitment to her vision and to me and to my dream. This song has been sung in Israel. The song has been sung on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. The song has been sung by people all over the planet. And this song is a powerful, powerful statement to who we are and what we can do, you know, when we choose. When we say yes, say yes, say yes, just say it. Everybody, ready? 1, 2, 3, yes! Ah! Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Ah, yeah. Say yes. Say yes to life. Say yes to you. All right? I love you, Karen, so much, man. I mean, really, you held my dream in your heart, in your mind, and because of that, so much good. I am responsible. I am responsible. I am responsible to leave the world a better place. Oh yeah! I am responsible. I am responsible. I am responsible to leave the world a better place. Looking around the world, and what do I see? So many things in a state of need. Pain and suffering all around me. I won't stand by and just let this be, 'cause I am responsible. I am responsible. I am responsible to leave the world a better place. Everywhere, everyone wants to be free. Some look around and say, it's not me. How can they close their eyes and not see? It all comes down to me. Why? Because I am responsible. I am responsible. I am responsible to leave the world a better place. I said I am responsible. I am responsible. I am responsible to leave the world a better place. I'm reliable, accountable, dependable, invincible. I'm capable, incredible, responsible. I'm reliable, accountable, dependable, invincible. I'm capable, incredible, responsible. 'Cause I am responsible. I am responsible. I am responsible to leave the world a better place.
Sing along now.
I said, come on, am responsible. I am responsible. I am responsible to leave the world a better place. To leave the world a better place. To leave the world a better place. What are we gonna do? We're gonna leave the world a better place. Whoa, whoa.
Great job.
Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about.
There's more.
And Gateway to Dreams. Yes. No, do it. No, so if you have a dream, this is your champion right here. I promise you this. And she's done it for so many people in our community. I mean, you will be connected. She is a connector. She will connect you to so many beautiful, amazing people. And I've seen so many dreams realized, like food trucks coming into reality, people having babies, getting RVs, all kinds of, and creating these nonprofits. She's all about championing you if you're a nonprofit. So, Karen Hoffman, please, you have been blessed with her being here for all of you dreamers today. All right, let's do it. Let's be the change.
Now, on a softer note, Sherry on the bowls and Michelle closing prayer.
What a fabulous service. So much love, you know, the love here is just so big. And as we close out our service today and we go out into the world, let's take that love with us. Let's take that big love. Even if you're crabby or somebody cuts you off or somebody's a big, you know, jerk in the store or whatever, love them anyway. Because I've accidentally cut people off. I've been a jerk in the store. I've been impatient. I'm imperfect. And I want to love myself even though that's the case. But I also want to love everybody else. So I challenge us this week. Let's take this love and give it out. Not just to our kids and to our friends and to everybody that's easy to love. Let's love those folks that maybe aren't so easy to love, you know? Let's do that. So let's close our eyes and connect with the divine inside ourselves that connects each one of us together, and know together that there is only one love, one spirit, one God, one consciousness. It's all the same. It's all love. It's all us. It's our lives right now. It's what we choose to focus on. I turn away from the idea of lack. I turn away from the idea of pain, and I choose abundance and joy and love and power and just all the good things that God does for us every single day. And I amplify it and carry it out into the world and give it to each individual I just even pass by in the store, at the gas station, and I love them. I love them because that's good for them and it's good for me. As we heal ourselves, we heal each other with love. And I am so grateful that that is the truth. That is the law. That is known. It's absolutely not changeable whatsoever. If you love something, it will change and it will get better. And we know that truth. I know that for you right now. If you don't know it, I know it for you. And I love you, and I bless you, and I send you out to do so much good for the world and for yourself. Bless us all. Release my words into the law, knowing that great change is coming, great love, like Pookie likes to say. And as we say together, and so it is. Let's have Pookie and Bob
I think we're going to do a closing
for a
song.
little
and then we're out of here. Is that right?
closing music action.
You are. But you're welcome to stand if you'd like. This is like your last chance to get energized before we head out of the room. So if you'd like to, stand up. It's a title track on our album called "Opening Up to the Good." I am opening up to the good. I am opening up to the good. I am opening up to the good that is my life. Joy, I am opening up to the joy. I am opening up to the joy. I am opening up to the joy that is my life. Love, I am opening up to the love. Good that is my life. To the good that is my life. To the good that is my life. Happy Sunday! Woo! It's a rock star ending. birthday, Pookie. Awesome with the sauce. And a bag of chips.
We got a closing affirmation. You heathens.
That was fun. I'm glad you were here.
Let's say it together.
On the screen.
Spirit within me is God. That spirit is my inner life. And so it